Hey, welcome to the channel, Taylor Made. We are breaking down the GMC motorhome. Mine is a 1976. Today I just wanted to talk about a little bit on how we're getting it home, and then something I've really been wanting to get into is how to break down a project this big. A lot of people see this and it's a headache. It could be a headache. Getting the home process. A lot of people are saying, use a land dolly. I was gonna have a rollback come and pick it up, but that was too expensive, and we have means down there. So my father-in-law's brother, he owns a Dodge Cummins. It's got a stage 3 clutch in it. The top out load max with a gooseneck is 19,970, I believe, and that's more than capable with this motorhome. It's 26 foot. It should be about 11.5 dry. The tanks are completely empty. There's not supposed to be any kind of fluids in it at all, so it's going to be a completely dry weight going on this thing. So with the trailer and all, we're probably going to be around 15 to 17. We are going to go to the scales and weigh before we leave. Of course, we're going to be chaining and bindering this thing down. Might throw a couple heavy-duty flatbed straps on there if we need to. My father-in-law is a truck driver, and his brother Darren, they do this all the time. He works in construction, so good to go. The trailer we're using is a 26-foot gooseneck. It is a newer trailer, and the wheels are set up in like an 18-wheeler style wheel, so they're tandem wheels, but they're dualies, so you got 8 wheels total on the trailer itself. Plenty of hookups. The only problem we think we might have is loading it onto the trailer. We think it has a dovetail, so it comes out straight and angles down, and then it has ramps built in that hit the ground. The only problem we think we're going to have is when we load it. The wheelbase for the GMC motorhome is 13.3 feet from front wheel to, I think, middle of the tandems. We might have where there's rub. I'll use this. So when we're loading it, we think we're going to load it backwards. And in between this point right here, we think might catch on the dove. So to keep that from happening, we're going to have, I'm not sure the exact measurements, but, in between 4 and 6 foot on the back here, hangover. So if we load the back first, we can go from here to here and use these ramps and maybe put ramps on the trailer ramps. So instead of coming up like this, the front wheels will already be catching. The other idea is to get on a little hill and put the ramps up on the hill. That way when we go up on the hill, it's just pretty much straight back and we're on there. I got to look at points. So like where we're going to hook to the motorhome itself, I'm going to look up structural points. That way when we're bindering this thing down, we're not going to compromise anything. Anybody's got any experience loading this thing on a 26-foot trailer, please comment below. I got all the equipment. There should be, no problem with any of this equipment hauling this thing. Again, I'm going to record the whole weekend. We get down there, we're getting down there early Friday morning. We're leaving my house at 2 or 3 a.m. We're going to get down there at 8 or 9. Then we're going to pretty much go over all the equipment we have. We're going to go to the RV site where it's parked. We're going to pull it out. We're going to put it into the gravel. And we're going to just lay everything out. Saturday's loading day. We're going to use all day Saturday. We got family coming with experience. We're going to chop this thing up and try and get it loaded. What? Hey. Yeah.
Why'd you stop?
Because you're standing there. I'll edit out a few seconds, but come over here. It's just for at nighttime, so I'll edit out a second. So everybody, this is my wife, Danielle.
I don't want to.
She is, a part of this big process.
Sub YouTube.
She has really supported me on this. We've looked at many motorhomes, and she has, jumped right in on this one. She's went to college. She's done interior designing classes, so she's going to be a great big help, getting this thing looking pretty and nice. Danielle, that's all can be heard.
Who's the one talking?
What do you want me to do? I'm trying to record a video.
Try to post the whole video.
Oh, it's going on YouTube. Can you go do something in a different room? I'm gonna have an on air above the door. That way you can't come in here.
I think so far.
Anyway, so she's been a great big help. We're loading this thing up. We got several different ways. We thought about stacking scaffolding boarding to make it. We just got to get the incline deleted. That's all we got to keep from. We got to keep from the RV bottoming out right here, and that's what we're working on. It's all new to all three of us, so when we go down there, we're going to be learning. Can you go away?
You have to restart.
I'm not restarting. This is all going on YouTube, baby. So when we get down there, it's gonna be a challenge. I mean, we have no idea what we're doing. We know how to load. We know how to strap. We know how to bonder chains. We know how to do all that. But none of us in the family has ever loaded something this big and hauled it 5.5, 6 hours. So it's going to be a fun challenge. It really is. It's going to be fun to get all the way up here. I'm going to save most of that for that weekend. I'm going to try and have a video out. I'm probably going to break all 3 days down and post the videos. I'm going to do shorts. So there's going to be a lot of content hit that weekend. Danielle,
I'm just standing here.
go away. Can you just, if you're going to sit there and watch, sit there and watch. I got a stool right here. You can sit here and watch. Just
I'm not doing that.
quit doing stuff. I got to edit that part out. So just chill, okay? So I'm gonna try and drop a lot of content that weekend. Several different videos, some shorts. I want to do interviews with the family, and I mentioned that in my previous video. So it's gonna be a lot of fun. It's gonna be really interesting. We're all gonna get up early. It's gonna be long days. I'm gonna try and time lapse a lot of that stuff, and I'm new at this. So I'm recording this Friday night. I'm gonna try and have this video out tomorrow. And, it's just, editing this in. I just figured out how to drop pictures and do voiceovers of that. And I plan on doing, some images in this video from Google. I don't know how the copyright purposes work, but I'm going to be pulling them from Google. Because the next point I wanted to get into was how to approach a project this big. I want to detail the whole thing. When I get it here, it's getting severely detailed, bleached, shampooed, pressure washing, getting everything cleaned up. Once we get it cleaned up, we can kind of see where we're going to start. I mean, the interior looks rough, but something can look rough and be completely fine. A lot of people have, said water damage. I've seen a little bit of water damage, but again, this thing was redone in the 90s, and it all looks really solid. It felt really solid, but, that doesn't mean anything. I get underneath and it could be all rotted, but it doesn't feel like it. And I'm only approaching the things that have to be done right now. The things that we couldn't go camping if it wasn't done. And a lot of people would be like, I would completely gut it. We're not doing that. We may strip the carpet and put hardwood down before we go camping. But I could get a carpet cleaner. It's faded. That's fine. Getting it running, that's a big thing with a project. I mean, you can't do anything, no matter how nice it looks. If it doesn't run good and it's not dependable, you can't do anything with it. So we're going to get this thing really running good, really dependable. And then, if the heads need rebuilt, I'll rebuild the heads. If the transmission needs work, we'll approach that. Brakes, all the brakes are going to need gone through. I mean, pretty much with something this old, you replace all the bearings, all the brakes, all the rotors. I mean, brake lines, anything that can be replaced in that system, you replace. There's no reason to take a chance on old parts. The same thing with the motor. I mean, if we can get the motor running good and not have to redo heads and not have to break it down completely, you know, I'm talking oil pan gasket. I've heard time and chain and gears, water pumps. I'm probably going to do the Phytech system. Jim Bounds has an awesome video on the Phytech system, if I'm saying that right. It's pretty much a fuel-injected carburetor. That's what it looks like to me. You bolt it exactly where the carburetor goes, few wires, digital screen layout, you're done. It keeps from all this. A lot of people have the vapor lock when you're going to different elevations, when it heats up too much. It does away with all this. It's about $1,500. But when you're going on trips, especially, you know, we got a trip planned next November. It's booked. The campground's booked. We can always upgrade if the camper's not done by then. But the campground's booked. We're going to Disney. And we want to go down there. We want to enjoy that trip. It's an 11-hour trip. I want to go down there. I don't have to worry about this thing. You know, so we got to get it running good. Once this thing runs good, you know, there's no other issues, then we're going to get it driving. The dependability has to be there. Next summer, if we can get it running, driving, we're going to drive it up to Davy Crockett State Park next summer before our trip. Take a weekend. You know, me and my wife are going to learn how to hook this thing up. She's got outside decorations she wants to do. You know, we're going to try and see if the awning works, see what kind of condition the awning's in at that time. We're going to go up there to do that, and then we're going to come back because it's only an hour and a half from my house. So that little trip and then getting some miles under this thing after it's sat so long. I think that's the biggest breakdown. You know, approaching a project, just don't get overwhelmed. A lot of people get into this and lose hope. I got my wife's Mustang sitting out in the garage. It's been out there for 4 years. I pulled it into that garage and completely stripped it down to the frame. We're just now putting a motor in it. Interior's done, you know, painted, putting a motor in it. If you go at it like that, if you completely strip it, you know, it's fine if that's your intention. If you're like, I plan on taking, you know, 4, 5, 6, 7 years, but we're not. We want to get use out of this. So you really want to approach it, and you want to make a detailed list of what you want to do. When it gets here, we're going to clean it first. Before we do anything, cleaning it. Cleaning. I cannot stress that enough. I've got in so many project trucks. It's the first thing I do is clean. Then I make a detailed list of everything I need for it to run, everything I need for it to be dependable. You know, on that list is tires. You know, we're going to buy tires next year. It's got Firestones on it. They all hold air. We don't plan on going anywhere on them. You know, I got a little loop around the house, maybe a mile or 2 long. That'll be the max they go on. We're going to buy tires the year we plan on going camping, so they're not sitting. They're brand new. I don't have to worry about tires. You know, all that's on that list. You make the detailed list and you make the check marks. Because if you sit back and you look at the whole thing, this thing is 26 foot. It is a house on wheels. You know, you got your septic, you got your plumbing, then you got your engine components. You know, 12,000 pounds going down the road, it's got to stop. So if you look at the whole project and you walk in and you just gut it out, you're going to lose hope. You're going to get here, you're going to see this, and you're going to be thinking, man, what did I get myself into? When it didn't need that. If all you're wanting to do is go camping and enjoy it, you don't have to have $1 million in it. You can have, you know, by this time next year, we hope to have 10 or 20 grand in it, slowly trickling into it. You know, that's not dumping all that at once. It's a slow trickle. And that 20,000, that's, you know, the last thing we got left is to paint it. That's the interior completely redone. You know, those 16-inch wheels put on it that are aluminum. So, you know, just, I've seen a lot of people post on some of these groups. You know, we got started on this project and we lost hope. And that's why people lose hope. Because they look at a project this big and then they get started and they don't really know how to do it. Like the house side, that's new to me. I know how to do mechanics. I've done it for a long time. The house side is new to me. You know, our Disney trip next year, we've already looked into, you know, do they got showers on site and bathrooms? Because, you know, if one of the stipulations to getting this thing going is not having a functional bathroom, that's fine, as long as there's access to it. I would like to have it done, but that's a whole new, you know, leap, you know, into working on this thing. Is, you know, this isn't a wet bath. This is been a remodeled motorhome, so it's got a full bath with a shower. And getting in there in that tight space, you know, and underneath and all that, getting all the lines, make sure nothing's leaking. You know, I could spend a year plumbing it. So if, you know, we don't have, you know, when we go to Disney, we're going to be in the parks most of the time. Really, the camper needs to have electricity, air, and livable. If we don't have a shower functional, there's showers on site. There's bathrooms on site. Now, I intend to fix it. I intend to do that before we go. But it's always good to have that backup plan, because all this is time consuming. All this is time consuming, especially when you're brand new at a project. And I could get in there, you know, 2 months before we go to Disney, have the bathroom completely tore out, and been like, well, I've ripped it all out. Now we can't take the motor home. So, you know, baby steps. And comments. There's people have told me about clubs near the area. You know, all that has took a really big part into what, you know, the knowledge to get. Jim Bounce, you know, not just, he's got so many videos of what to do. But for today, I think that's all we're going to go over. I'm trying to keep these videos short until we get, you know, the RV here and get content, hands-on content with that thing. That's, you know, I'm really excited, and I'm really just trying to chug along until we get that. Because I know a lot of people are saying, you know, they wanted to see more videos with, you know, everyday people, you know, hands-on with these things. So that's what we're building up to. But, you know, thank you for joining in. You know, I'm at 30 subscribers already, and thank you so much. It's a brand new channel, and that may not seem like a lot to a lot of people. I have almost 500 views. I started 10 days ago. You know, and this is completely new to me. My wife's encouraged it. My family's encouraged it. And this has just been, it's been a blessing. So thank you guys so much. If you like the video, leave a like, subscribe, share. You know, if I can get a lot of people to share this channel, it could blow up. You know, and I'm not expecting it to. I'm not expecting to get, you know, anything out of this. But if I do, you know, this is not just for me. This is for anybody out there, you know, on a budget and wanting to do this and spend time with their family and get out of the house. That's what it's about. It's the quality time with it. So thank you guys so much.